Hello, Mr. Knight. I received your question about this problem here. You want to use Cramer's rule to solve this. Choose the correct answer below. I guess most of them will probably turn out to be A. I've gone ahead and started it. Cramer's rule is just a matter of learning some patterns. You don't have the quotient of 2 3x3 determinants. The bottom, if it's set up in the standard form, the bottom, the coefficients of your variables are just the bottom determinant. This is 1, 5, and 2. 1, 5, and 2. Then you have -3, -2, and -5. So -3, -2, -5. Then we have -5, -1. This one's missing, so it's 0. -5, -1, and 0. So the bottom determinant, if you have it in this arrangement, it's just the coefficients. Okay. The top determinant, if you're solving for x, then you have your first column be x, then second column y, third column is z. And so, the y and z column will match the denominators. So you just copy those to get down. The x column, the first column, you want to put the constants. -17, 2, and -11. -17, 2, -11. Okay, and so again, the bottom 3x3 determinant is just the coefficients. The top one, since we're solving for x, the only column be different is in the x column you put the constants. The other two columns match the denominator. And similarly, you'd solve for y. If you're solving for y here, then it would be the middle column that would be the constants, and then the other two columns would match the denominator. If you were solving for z instead of x or y, the third column would be the constants. The other two columns would match the denominator. So that's how you set these up. The next step is to evaluate these determinants. You got 2 3x3 determinants. We want to evaluate those. There are different options available. The option I take is I write down the top. Let me see here, the top row. I'm trying to leave some space here. So copy down the top row. So what am I doing here? I'm writing down the top row. 1, -3, and -5. 17, -3, and -5. So I write down the top row, and you always change the sign of the middle one. So I'll make it a plus. Okay, now you want to multiply each of these by a 2x2 determinant. Okay, how do you determine that 2x2 determinant? Well, this 1 is in the top row in the first column. There's, if I mark those out, top row and first column, you'll have 4 numbers left. They go in this determinant here. And so let's see, what's those 4 numbers left? It's -2, -1, -5, and 0. Okay, then the 3 was still on top row, but I need to mark out the middle column here. I need to keep I need to keep this column, the 5 and the 2 and the -1 and the 0. So 5 and 2, -1 and 0. And so for the -3 that was here, that's this middle column in top row. So you keep these 2 numbers and these 2. Finally, we have the -5. I'd mark out this right column in top row. That would leave me with these 4 numbers. It would be 5, 2, -2, -5. I need to repeat that. I need to repeat this process for the numerator. So I'm going to multiply. It's a little tight squeeze here. Need to use a lot of paper. 17 is in the top row and left column. That leaves me with these four numbers. Can I squeeze those in here? -2, -5, -1, and a 0. I need to repeat that for the -3. It's in the middle, top row is always middle column. I'll be left to 2, -1, and -1, 0. So let's see, what was that? 2, -1, -1, 0. And finally the 5, -5, we're all in the top row. I'd mark out the bottom right column, and I'll be left with these four numbers. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's a 2 and -11. 2, -11, and then -2, -5. Oops, I think I messed up. That was the ones with that 2 there. I should have had -11 below it. So I believe that should be a -11. Yeah, it's easy to make a mistake in all this. So I marked out that row should have been 2, -11, -1, 0 here. Now it's a matter of evaluating each of these determinants and multiplying by the appropriate number here. I'm running out of space here, but if I do that down below, it would be -1, be what, 0 minus 5. Where did I get that from? Right here's the -1. Then this diagonal, which is 0, minus this diagonal, which would be 5. And plus 3. And let's see, this diagonal will be 0 minus a -2. And minus 5. This diagonal would be -25. This diagonal will be -4. So minus a -4. This video is getting a bit long now. You work out that arithmetic and you have the denominator. Similarly, you'd work out the arithmetic in this one and you'd have the numerator, and that quotient would give you the answer. Hopefully this gets you started, but the video's getting a bit lengthy. Hope this helps.